Problem
All right, so number two.
Problem number two, far too many acquisition entrepreneurs are regurgitating guru junk. That is what the presentation about entrepreneur or acquisition entrepreneurials turns into too many times. And I've heard you speak about this before. I think the biggest culprit there is the buy a business with no money down, right? That dream, that shortcut, that sell. Boy, it's really sexy and attractive. If I'm an aspiring business owner that doesn't have any money, I can scrape together 10 grand for the program and learn some secret. And John, how often does that type of deal get done?
I would say very, very rarely. And I'll give you a story. When you do a lot of podcasts, a lot of people are attracted to you and they reach out to you and they ask you questions. And I had somebody from Belgium reach out to me and say, can you help me buy a business? And I said, well, what kind of money do you have? Like, well, I don't have any money. And I go, well, how did you think you were going to buy a business in the United States? And he goes, well, I heard about this no money down. Everybody's buying no money down in the United States. Like, well, that's not true. It doesn't happen. And if it does happen, it's extremely rare that somebody as a profitable business is going to give it to you and then they're going to finance 100% of it.
Right. It doesn't.
To you, right?
Is it hypothetically possible? Of course it is. Has it probably happened? Yes. But it is such a rare bird that the idea that has the prominence that it does. And I've seen it. I've had aspiring buyers tell me that they have spent X portion of their down payment savings on these kinds of programs where they're learning this stuff, hoping for a shortcut, when in fact what it does is it kills their opportunity. The best response I ever had from someone when they talked about this was, if you're so bad at managing your personal finances that you can't save a little money for a down payment, why would I ever trust you with my main asset? Why would I ever trust you that you have the financial management skills to run my business at a profit that will allow you to actually pay me as we go? There's such a disconnect there, but that is messaging, and that's some of that guru gunk, and that's not the only one, right? That no money down. One of them that's a pet peeve for me is the messaging that, hey, you should try and buy a business in a completely different industry because then you'll be able to bring a new approach and be more creative than that industry than the people who have been doing it forever. And again, hypothetically possible, sure. But I have experienced myself and I have seen others experience what happens when you get crushed by a lack of knowledge with a new business. What do you mean I had to do that certification? Exactly. Yeah. What do you mean I can't do this way? Yeah. Exactly. It's brutal.
Yeah, so. I had another story about this. I did have a student that was younger and he had a little bit of money down and he tried to buy this business where it takes the old computers, separates them and sells the chips or the boards on eBay. But I said, like, this is probably going to be a deal that won't happen because you're too young. The guy that's selling it is like 72 and he's looking for his peer to turn it over to. Right. You're just an unknown peer. Seller's going to sell to peers.
Absolutely. Especially if there's any component of seller financing in there, right? The message that I have to trust you to do it. I'm reminded of a business that I looked at in an industry I didn't know. And as I dug deeper, I started talking to people with knowledge in that industry. And they said, well, did you check out X filing? Right. And so I go and I look at this filing and it doesn't make much sense to me, but I show non-compliance. And so I show this to somebody who knows this industry and I say, what does this mean? And they say, it means you're going to spend $150,000 replacing that thing sometime in the next year or two. And it's like, boom, the deal just blew up. because I didn't know something. I didn't know to check that thing. And how close did I get to signing a piece of paper because of the lack, that would have created a real problem for me because I didn't know. So
yeah, you're going to pay now or pay later. And
that's
usually
right.
paying later is going to destroy the company. Yeah.
All right.